What if I told you the most dangerous enemy you'll ever face isn't out there, it's you? You might roll your eyes. I know I've heard that before. But no, you haven't heard it like this. Because this enemy doesn't want to defeat you quickly. It wants to make you destroy yourself slowly. Stay with me. By the end of this, you might never see yourself the same way again. Every great fall in history began with a whisper, not from the outside, but from within. A whisper that said, you deserve more. They don't respect you. You're better than this. Why try? You'll fail anyway. Sound familiar? These aren't random thoughts. They're weapons used by the oldest, most manipulative part of you, your ego. And it hides behind masks. Sometimes it sounds like ambition. Other times it pretends to be confidence. And worst of all, it can sound like your best friend. But here's the truth. The ego doesn't care if you win or lose. It just wants to be right. Let me ask you something. Have you ever ruined something good just because it didn't go exactly your way? That's not bad luck. That's not the universe being unfair. That's the enemy inside you pulling the strings, laughing while you think you're in control. Still think it's just a harmless voice. Julius Caesar was betrayed not by strangers but by the people closest to him. But here's what history rarely asks. Who planted the seed of arrogance in his mind? Who told him he was untouchable? Who made him blind to the blades being drawn behind his back? It was his own ego, his inner enemy, and he never saw it coming. You see, the greatest enemy doesn't need to attack you. It just needs to convince you to attack yourself. It will make you sabotage relationships because you don't need anyone. Make you avoid risks. Because what if you look foolish? Make you argue, not to understand, but to win. Make you isolate, because no one gets you. Until one day, you look around, and you're alone. But you were never alone. That voice was always there, and it's been feeding on your pride, your fears, and your need to be right. Still not convinced this enemy lives inside you? Ask yourself, why do you get defensive when someone corrects you? Why do you compare yourself to people you secretly envy? Why do you avoid starting things unless you're sure you'll succeed? Because that inner enemy knows your weaknesses better than anyone else. It doesn't need to fight you. It just feeds your illusions. Here's the trap most people fall into. They think mastering the world means mastering others. But the wise, those few who walk a different path, they know mastery begins with the war inside. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful emperors to ever live, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Notice he didn't say power over the world. He said power over your mind, because that's where the real war happens. Now I'll give you a moment to pause, because maybe you're asking, so what do I do? How do I fight something that lives inside me? And the answer, you don't fight it, you unmask it, because the ego thrives in the dark. But once you see it clearly, once you name it, once you say, that's my pride talking, not truth, you weaken its grip. Here's a brutal truth. Most people will go their entire lives losing battles they don't even know they're in. They'll think, I need more money, I need more fame, I need validation. But what they really need is to look in the mirror and say, the enemy isn't out there. It's been in here all along. That's where healing begins. That's where clarity begins. That's where power begins. Now here's where this gets scary. The more successful you become, the louder your inner enemy gets. Because now it has more to protect. You think, I can't lose this. I must be right. I can't show weakness. So you build walls, you cut people off, you pretend everything's perfect. Until eventually, you're not living anymore. You're just defending a version of yourself that isn't even real. Let's get honest. Have you ever lied just to protect your image? That wasn't you. That was your inner enemy in survival mode. It feared the truth would damage the identity it built for you. But guess what? That identity is a prison. How do you break free? By doing what few ever dare to do, admitting when you're wrong. Apologizing without excuses. Asking for help even when it bruises your pride. Listening not to reply, but to understand. Every time you choose humility over ego, every time you silence the voice that says, you must win, you take the knife out of your own back. You were born free, But you were taught to compete, taught to climb, taught to dominate, taught to never show weakness. And the enemy inside you, it loved that education because it made sure you'd never be at peace. Always chasing, always comparing, always angry at the world. But what if I told you peace isn't found at the top? It's found within, in that quiet space where your ego finally shuts up, where you can hear the soft whisper of truth beneath all the noise. And that truth says, you are enough without applause. You are strong without dominance. You are free when you no longer need to prove anything. Let's end with this. You can't kill the enemy inside you, but you can tame it. You can look it in the eye and say, I see you, but I won't be ruled by you. That's real strength. That's real victory. That's what separates the wise from the wounded. So next time the voice says, you're not enough, you'll fail, they don't respect you, ask yourself, is this truth, or is this the enemy inside me? That single question can change your life, but only if you dare to ask it. Now it's your turn. What's the one belief you've been holding on to? That might be the enemy in disguise. Comment below. Be honest. Call it out. Share it and take its power away. If this message hit you where it hurts, you're not alone. Thousands are waking up to this war within. Like, share or send this to someone who needs to stop fighting the wrong enemy. Because until you defeat the one inside, you'll keep losing to everything outside.